talk about Sudden Impact 7.
Jimmy, got your fight card with you?
I do. It's coming up this Friday night at the Heart of St. Charles Banquet Center, right next to Ameristar. It's going to be a good event. We've got 13 fights lined up.
You know who else we have in the house, Jim?
Who else?
Before we talk about Sudden Impact 7?
Stop it.
No, I'm serious. We have Lori Donovan.
We do have Lori Donovan fresh.
Recent champion, Lori Donovan.
Yep, there you go.
What's up, guys?
Let's take a look at that belt. Give it to the
She's got
camera.
her belt with her.
Okay.
Woo, it's a
That'll-
pretty belt.
that'll keep her pants up.
It's decent.
Wow.
It's decent.
I'm proud.
She'll be really, yeah, she's waiting for the one that says Strike Force Women Champion on there. But
Yeah.
I'm just waiting to fight.
I know.
You were going to fight at Sudden Impact 7.
Yes, I was.
And I guess, I know you're ready to fight. I guess your opponent was not ready to fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing always to fight for Jenkins. I mean, I love the show, and Sudden Impact is the best. But I'll fight anytime, and I just really love the fight. I mean, I really want to punch someone. I've been training hard, and I really want to fight.
Got some new techniques you have to use on everybody.
For those that are out there listening, there's a, it's hard for the females to match up, and there's a lot of shows coming up. And if you're a female fighter, or you're a trainer that has a female fighter that thinks maybe they can match up with Lori with 135 to 140, there's a lot of events coming on that we're all looking for fights for Lori. I mean, there's my event this Friday. There's the Border Wars we just talked about on the 10th, and a host of other events. So even if it isn't an upcoming one, there's a lot of events coming up. Sudden Impact 8 will be November 6th. So there's so many events that we'd like to be able to get hold of as many female fighters as possible so that we can get you all in connection with each other so you can fight, whatever weight it is. I mean, they all need to be able to do that.
It'd be cool just to meet a bunch of other females. I mean, there's not really many females in,
I would agree, but I'm not allowed to agree any more to that it's cool to meet a bunch of females. No.
Hey, Lori, Johan Flogger thought you were awarding him a belt.
I would, but
Oh, we want to.
No, nice to meet you.
We want to welcome Johan Flogger and his fighter Eric Vasquez.
What weight do you wrestle? Do you fight at?
45.
Same. Okay.
wow.
Wow.
No.
Good to see you guys.
35, 40 guys. Hold on.
You guys both have fights this weekend coming
How
up.
can you guys only be 10 pounds apart?
I don't know, Jimmy. He looks a lot bigger than me.
He is a lot bigger.
Eric's going to be fighting this Friday on Sudden Impact 7, and Johan, you're going to be fighting on the 3rd at the Take That Promotion Pro-Am card over in Illinois.
Right.
That's awesome. So you guys, you work the corner on Friday for him, and then you're going to go fight on
Shoot
Saturday.
over, get some sleep, and fight Saturday.
There you
A lot
go.
of fun. More fights to see.
Who do you got on Saturday? This is Take That Promotion.
Yeah, I have Greg Wilson.
Mm.
Greg Wilson.
Have you seen him fight, Lori?
Oh, yeah, I've seen him fight. He fought my husband twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen Greg fight. He's good on the ground.
How do you
Pretty
do?
decent. He seems decent on the ground. I mean, stand up, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So, just bring it on him. Put it
Yo's
on him,
just got
stand
to do his
up.
thing, I'm telling
Don't
you.
let it go to the ground. He's pretty decent. That's what I know.
I don't know him, Yo, but I got faith in you.
I do.
Hey,
Hey, stand up and just beat his ass.
Well, I'm coming off a loss, and I heard he coming off a loss, so
He
it's
is.
like,
I was there, I think.
We'll be all out.
it's definitely gonna be a war. So
Stand up.
I fight
Yeah, you fight.
wherever they want to get
Good
kicked
answer.
at.
Good
I'm
hands.
comfortable
Good
wherever.
No wrestling.
Well, Steve's the main event for that one, right?
Steve is the main event.
Okay, everybody scoot that mic up to you a little bit there. I know that I think you did it the right way, and Johan's helped you do it the right way. On Sudden Impact 6, you took your first fight, and it was a K1 tie match.
It was.
A stand-up match, but
Man, that was
you
a
were,
brawl.
that was one of the best fights of the night.
Yes,
That guy looked like a He-Man who you fought.
Yeah, he did look like he man.
Everybody that was in the crowd for me, they said, "Oh shit," and that's pretty much it.
I mean, he did. He looked like a mountain of a man.
Yeah.
You looked good, though,
He,
man.
You only outweighed you by, what, 60? No. I'm a good matchmaker. Oh, my God.
No,
Own it, Jim. Own it.
I
No,
was a little skeptical about the K1 match, but I mean, it was fun.
Well,
You got a different sense of fun than me.
see, I'm a big believer.
Yeah.
In Muay Thai, yeah.
Yes.
I'm a big, it's the same striking as MMA, but, your first time in the cage, you don't have to get all nervous about it. And you learned a lot more, I bet, in the 3-round war that you were in than you would have been either winning or losing in a minute and a half with somebody.
Absolutely. I mean, I wasn't quite ready for the way it started. I mean, of course it was 3 2 minutes, so it's kind of
Well,
all out. balls to the
I'm
wall.
not your trainer, but even if I was, I would have learned several things about you that night. I would have learned that you've got heart, for
Heart.
sure.
He's
You
tough.
cannot train that.
Is
You
there
can't.
a certain amount of kicks that you have to do per
No.
hour?
No, that's gone wayside. It's just the MMA striking.
See, at first I did think that.
Wow. That's
The old
what I thought.
kickboxing, yeah. It's just Muay Thai leg, it's leg kicks, clinch, throw knees to the body. Everything you do in MMA striking, you're just taking the grappling away from it. And so it ends up being a non-stop.
But you cannot hold them and hit them though. You still cannot.
Right, you can't hold them and hit them, and they do have to wear headgear because that's part of the state's requirements. And they're wearing a little bit bigger, you're wearing 10 ounce instead of 6 ounce gloves, which isn't a whole lot of difference. But it's a great way to break the ice for your first fight.
Yeah.
And I think that guys, amateurs that want to fight, they ought to be getting in the novice golden gloves or the open division. They ought to be taking kickboxing matches. They ought to get in grappling tournaments. You got to be able to do it all. So why wouldn't you take the advantage of those things? And sometimes that fight just isn't there on an MMA level for you, but there's something available in a kickboxing match, and it keeps you working. And you learned a bunch, and I know your friends and family were yelling and had a great time.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of the best fights of the night.
They asked me, of course, all my adrenaline was rushing. So they said, "Can you hear me in the back?" I'm like, besides the fact that you were 50 feet away from the cage and you had 20 people screaming at me, I was like, I didn't even hear anybody. So I'd rather hear my trainer in the corner yelling at me.
Well, now you're going to take the step up on Sudden Impact 7 to your first MMA match this Friday against Justin Wohler out of American Karate out there in I believe St. Charles, St. Peter's area.
I'm pretty excited about that. I mean, I've been training pretty hard.
If he ain't, I am.
There you go.
I'm charged up. I'm charged.
What's his opponent's record? Have you?
It'll be his first fight, just like him. He's had a few kickboxing matches, though, a couple more than you. Comes from a traditional martial arts background. He's been doing it a long time. That part of it, but it's a different game.
That's for sure.
The ref doesn't stop you after one point and back you up and start you again.
Yeah.
It's continual fighting, but he's done a couple kickboxing matches and one exhibition match in kickboxing, so he's not that much farther ahead of you other than he's been in martial arts a long time, but it's a different sport. It's a different game, and I think it's a real good match. As the matchmaker, I'm real comfortable. I think it's a fair fight. I think it's either way, and that's the ones that it needs to be. That's the way all matches should be, where, if a guy's a puncher, he needs to have that puncher's chance. But this is a good even match. I'm excited. And sometimes the new guys make for the best fights. You already show you got, just
The heart.
endless
He has the heart. He has the heart.
I always wish they were on first-time fighters, because I really do. You want to get in that first fight. You don't want it to last 1 second. You want to be able to experience an MMA fight, and so.
You're right.
I wish you to win. I wish you the best. But if you can, in your first, if you get in that type of fight, I think it'll just be the best experience it could be.
Well, I say that all the time. That's one of the things I love about Steve Knogle as a trainer. When I call him, his philosophy is if we get 2 rounds out of our opponent, that's great. If we get 3, it's outstanding.
Yeah.
And because he knows his guys are going to win, and not win, but learn.
Yes.
And that's the most important thing on this level is not to be overmatched, but or undermatched. That's no fun either. It's no fun to go out there and outclass a guy you're better than.